Hey everybody, it's CBullet here, and today I just want to say before this video starts, the entire non-mania portion of this script was written by Incomp and the mania portion by our new reviewer Emik. I'll be narrating in lieu of Incomp due to some time constraint complications.
Hey there, I'm Incomp. CBullet couldn't make it this weekend, or the last.
Well, that's awkward. Anyway, today I'll be talking about I don't even know, something in Baguette Eiffel Tower talk. Just 1 second here.
Feu Sacré. Feu Sacré.
Feu Sacré. Apparently this translates to Sacred Fire, and the Skinner's name is my angel Dennis. Starting with the song selection tabs, they've been given a boxy icon. The graphics in the top section are really cool. In the top right corner, there's a sun. It has a glow that overlaps the selection tabs, which I find to be a neat effect. Adds some depth to the screen. The song buttons have an interesting design, consisting of the unknown Pokemon. Of course, we got Ho-Oh on the right side of it. The same graphic is used to overlay the Osu logo on the bottom right. On the topic of the bottom section, the scenery is nice and nostalgic. The back button is cool, but it overlaps your personal record, which means that you may get sent back to the menu on accident. A good UI never gets in the user's way. Unfortunately, that's exactly what happens here, so I have to give it a con. All the mode icons have been edited into an 8-bit style. The mods icon has a white fringe along the outside. It's most visible along the top and left edges of the graphic. While this isn't a mistake made by the Skinner, it has to do with how the Osu client handles images. This can and should have been worked around, which you can do by adding a 1 or 2 pixel outer glow to the graphic. The main issue I have with these buttons is how each one got the 8-bit treatment differently. The icon for the options button has a higher resolution than that of the random button, which itself has a higher resolution than that of the mods button. Surely, making these icons consistent with each other would improve things by quite a bit. Moving on to the mod icons, the use of Pokemon for them is pretty clever, and each Pokemon is related to its respective icon. For example, Rattata is one of the weaker and easier Pokemon to catch, while Geodude is a goddamn rock with biceps. No complaints about the mod icons. The ranking screen is pretty well made, all things considered. The graphics look cool and everything is easy to read. In fact, I was pleasantly surprised when I saw how snugly everything fit into the panel. However, I can't say the same about the performance graph. It seems that the graphic is a little bit too low, causing the graph's line to overlap the upper red outline. The back button gives me mixed feelings, since it's the only boxy element on this whole screen to get a background. Maybe the Skinner should have given the whole panel a similar background to the one on the last screen. The HP bar is cool. The hit circles look like Pokeballs. There's a total of 3 combo colors. One thing I found interesting was the slider ball and follow circle. It's pretty rare to see a directional ball or a 2-tone follow circle, both of which have been executed well here. The spinner is okay, not very detailed, but it doesn't do anything wrong. It looks like a Pokeball too. The cursor won't get lost due to its blue color. The hit sounds are not the wooden ball clacky ones, instead they're more arcadey. Suits the skin very nicely, but may be distracting to some players. The key input area is probably the weakest part of the gameplay, and that's mainly due to the white fringe along the right edge. The fail screen is alright. The sudden switch from the 8-bit graphics to this art style is a bit jarring though. The pause screen has another art style shift, this time to kind of a splotchy water paint style. It reminds me of the background art in Katawa Shoujo. Good game by the way. The pause loop is somewhat loud. Personally, I don't mind this, but some players might.
When I saw this skin for the first time, I noticed the playfield was not centered, which might be a problem to some. The hit objects are circles with the first and fourth columns being red, and the second to third columns being blue. If you're playing with an odd number of keys, the middle column is green. Unfortunately, you can see white fringes along the sides of the circle. This is especially clear with the blue circles. I'll give it a con considering it isn't too difficult to fix this. The judgments use a pixelated font and fit well with the gameplay, though the Great and Good Judgments color should be swapped with each other since Great normally is green and vice versa. Every judgment has a minor glow, but the Skinner overlooked the fact that the glow abruptly cuts off. This is only really apparent when paused, but it still looks unappealing. It's also pretty distant from the combo. Generally speaking, you would want them to be right beside each other so that you can read both without darting your eyes across the screen. There's an inconsistency with the lines that separate the columns. Keys 4 through 9 have no lines while keys 1 through 3 do. Despite all of this, the skin remains clean and is very readable, so I do enjoy using it.
For the song selection, this skin gets a 3.5. It looks nice, but there's some visual inconsistencies, like with the button icons. Also, the lack of a color scheme here is problematic. The top section gives off a lot of blue, the song buttons give off a lot of red, and the bottom section gives off a lot of green. As a whole, it looks rather messy. For the ranking screen, it gets a 3. It's not the most detailed ranking screen in the world, but it does pretty much everything it's supposed to. However, the misaligned performance graph and the out of place back button look less than stellar. For the gameplay, a 4. The gameplay is very clear and smooth. It doesn't look generic either. The skinner used unique designs for the majority of the elements, making the gameplay stand a fair bit above other skins with less distinctive gameplay graphics. They tend to blur together to the point where it can be difficult to tell which gameplay is from which skin, but Feu Sacré avoids that. Still, the fringed key input area knocks the score down a bit, along with the hit sounds that may be distracting.
For Mania, I feel this skin deserves a 3, as it's clean and does the job well despite having a few minor issues that hold it back.
For visuals, a 3.5. For playability, a 4.5.
What do you think of this skin? What do you think of my review? Let us know using the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, let us know by leaving a like. If you want to see more of our content, be sure to subscribe. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in next video for another review.